Are you looking to join Cycling Men of Leisure for one of our rides in 2025? We've got a few things on our schedule.
That's right. We'll be attending Big Bragg and also the Bourbon Country Burn.
Big Bragg is in Georgia and Bourbon Country Burn's in Kentucky. Both places are going to be absolutely beautiful. We're going to have teams for both of those events. If you're looking to join us on our team, just send us a message. We'll tell you what to do.
So come on out. It's going to be a good time.
Absolutely.
Well, it's time for Road Adventures with Cycling Men of Leisure, the podcast for cyclists who understand that riding is not just about getting to the destination, but the experience along the way. Now, here are the original Cycling Men of Leisure, Adam and Michael.
Welcome to Road Adventures with Cycling Men of Leisure. I'm Adam, and across from me digitally with Zoom is my friend Michael and my co-host.
Good day. How are you?
Doing pretty good. Pretty good. Glad
it's been a while.
It has been a while. Glad
You've
to
been
be
out
back.
traveling the countryside, having a good time while the rest of us have been slaving away.
You know, that could be good and bad. I mean, in a prior show, I had made a comment that I was going to go see Mickey and Minnie and how my other house had mice, but I really didn't get into it because I really didn't want to advertise on a podcast that I was going to be away from my house for many weeks. So the truth of the matter is we did go down to Florida and bounce back and forth between a few theme parks. My wife and I love to be active on vacation, so we walk around a bunch, and then literally landed on a Saturday. It was a time change, and that next morning at 5:30 in the morning, my coworker picked me up and we went to a convention in Houston. I was on the ground less than like 10 hours from. I was in the airport, and the next morning right back at the airport, and I gained a lot of respect for people who do that for a living because I kept shaking my head thinking, what am I doing? So, but glad to be back. Good to be here with you. It's been a while. So,
well, good. Well, I'm glad your secretary there scheduled your vacation so close to your business trip. Oh, wait, that was you that did it to yourself. Never mind.
Truth be told, I had scheduled the vacation first, and then this opportunity came up, and I said, yeah, it'll be no big deal. I'll come back. I'll change luggage. And I'm in the afternoon in my house, like punching the wall going, oh, my gosh, what am I doing?
So dumb idea.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, well, you made it. Got to hang out in warm places and,
Oh, yes. Mrs. Baranski definitely didn't have any heartfelt feelings for me on the second thing. When I went to Houston, it was like 85 degrees. And in Michigan, we had some pretty chilly weather. So, yeah, the sympathy or love loss was 0.0. So,
well, it doesn't help when you're like, oh, hey, it's beautiful, sunny, 80 degrees here. How you doing? When you start off your conversations like that with your wife, that is never a good idea when you know it's not 80 degrees where they're at.
Now, you've known me long enough that this is what I say. Hun, I know what you're saying, but I'm stuck in this hotel room.
What's that sound? That sounds like somebody swinging a golf club, huh?
Like when you and I were in Tampa earlier this year, we were sitting outside having a bourbon in the palm trees, and she's like, well, what's the weather like? I'm like, oh, babe, it's pretty chilly. Yeah, well.
Yeah, life is rough.
Unfortunately, she's a lot more intelligent than that. She was smart enough to say, you're a liar. But anyways, I digress. I have an official announcement.
Oh, boy. I'm being replaced, aren't
I? No, because the CEO of ChatGPT has resigned, so you're still fine. So when they get a new one and they spin him back up, then no, I'm just kidding.
Okay, good. Hey, let's hear what's your big announcement.
I am proud to tell you that I officially registered for Big Bragg 2024, and I officially spun everything back up, so we will have a team in Georgia, and I'm excited about that. Well, last year we had a very successful number of team. We had men and women of leisure. We had 2 different jerseys, and we are doing it again.
So what you're telling me is I'm going back to Georgia.
You are. I don't know where yet.
I'll tell the wife. Going back to Georgia in June.
I don't know where yet. I mean, they Big Brag makes their announcement at the midnight on New Year's Eve. If you're like me, who last year was so lame,
I'm not.
Well, I know you guys did something cool, and I was jealous. But at that time, my wife was still working midnights at the hospital as a nurse. So last year, I sat in my living room hitting refresh, and watched where we were going. And then, of course, went crazy getting hotel rooms.
You immediately text me after you found out.
I did, and I actually told you which flight to buy and everything.
You did. It's like, this is where we're going. Buy this flight, and yeah. Which I appreciate. Let me tell you, I really do. So we're going back to Georgia.
Yep.
We're going to have our team.
Yes, please.
So we are looking for team members, both past and new. Feel free. If you go on there and when you register, there will be a little box that say, what team are you affiliated with or whatever. And if you click on that, even right now, there'll be a little drop down menu, and one of like the 6 teams currently in there is Cycling Men and Women of Leisure.
That is correct. Now, the only difference is there's been a few additions today. I kind of played around on the site a little bit, and there's like 9, I think now, but you can add your own. But why do that? I mean, we're already established. We've got some great team members. I really would, I'd like to challenge and send out a challenge for those who joined us last year to please join us again. It was really fun to see everybody on the road every day. And if you haven't done Big Brag, and you're looking for a larger ride, but you're said, Ragbari's too big. Brag is definitely more of an intimate setting where you can actually see the same people every day. And if you sit at, brake stops and the supported brake stops are nice and it's not so big that you can actually hang out with the same. If you don't ride at the same pace as somebody and they ride a little bit faster, you'll see them that night. So, definitely more of an intimate setting. Highly recommend. And we'll be talking about that in a few episodes from now. But just wanted to make that announcement. That
no, that's cool.
And also, go ahead.
If they sign up for the team and we get at least 10 people, which I feel very confident we will get at least 10, we all get jerseys.
Yes.
We all get to, they design a special jersey for the team. So last year we had 25. I believe we were the biggest team there. So we would like to get even more this year. So
we would. And just to be clear on that, I want to add one thing to what you said. They'll give us jerseys. Now, I felt bad last year because what happened was the notoriety of Cycling Men of Leisure and what it is and what we've started. And once people meet us and they're like, oh, these guys are, I mean, I'm not trying to be conceited, but this is exactly what happened. They're like, oh, this is great. Once they understood what we stood for and who we are, they say, oh, can we get one of those jerseys? Can we get one of those jerseys? I just got to be clear. That is a Brag sales, marketing, strategic plan that they put together in hopes that you will get a team of 10 or more. And then part of that is as they build and provide the jersey, and then we get to look like heroes by passing it out to all the people who sign up ahead of time. The bad part about that is afterwards, if you said, hey, can we get one of those? It's not even mine to offer you. I mean, short of taking mine off my back, and trust me, nobody wants to see that.
You don't want that.
You don't want that. I just want to be clear on that. I felt bad last year. I just wanted to explain. Anyone who we picked up a lot of listeners from Bragg last year, or if you're hearing this, you got to sign up ahead of time to get that jersey. So
cool. All right. Well, cool. I look forward to it. This would be year number 3 for us, I believe.
Yes.
And so it should be fun. So we are going to go back to an old favorite, but I'm sure there'll be some other rides that we'll be doing as well, which are yet to be determined.
So I think what I'm hearing you saying is we're not doing Iowa.
I think we can officially say that we're not doing Iowa. I mean, last year was a 6th time for me. We think it was the fifth time for you. We've done it. And I think both of us realized at that point, I think on Wednesday when we were riding out in the middle of nowhere, and you pointed out, it's like, I recognize that rock, this big decorative rock. It was just a big brown rock with somebody's name on it in their front yard. He goes, I think I remember that. And I was like, you don't remember it. And it's like, he remembers it because we've been down that road before. I think that pretty much says, you know what, it's time for us to hit some new roads, some new territories. Definitely enjoyed Iowa a great deal. But I think it's time for us to try some other new rides, meet some new people, hit some new roads.
And I would just like to add to that is not only do I agree with what you just said, but for our subscribers and followers, for us, we know that there are shows out there that are specifically designed to follow like Ragbri. The Just Go Bike podcast is pretty much a
It's
Ride
very
the
Ragbri
Rockies
centric.
Yeah, Ragbri, Ride the Rockies
Ride the Rockies,
centric.
yep.
And we don't want to be. I mean, yes, we're going back to Bragg, and Franklin, the director, has been wonderful to us. We're going back to Bragg for a few different reasons. We're going back because Georgia is just an awesome, beautiful state to ride through, and there's so much more to see, and we haven't seen more of it. And there's a lot of our friends that are from Georgia, and a lot of people that we've met along the way. A core value of that is from Georgia, and so that's why we decided this year that calendar-wise that it works. But we don't want to be the Ragbri show. We don't want to be that. Our goal is to the whole point of the show is called Road Adventures. Our adventures. Right. We want to keep going to the same thing. So, anyways, just wanted to get that out there. Just wanted to get that off my back. So,
sounds good.
Cool. With saying that, let me. Can I offer a change of subject?
Absolutely.
So what I thought we could do is, I am sure that you, like me, are getting inundated with emails about Black Friday and where to spend your money between now and next Friday. On behalf of Adam
and Michael,
we both want to say thank you
for your support.
Yeah, I'm getting a few, and I'm getting children, giving me lists of things, and no one's asked me what I want Santa to bring me, but I'm getting lists from numerous people within the family saying, "Hey, here's my list." So,
I've been to your house a few times, and I've watched your children come to you like an ATM. They're like beep 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 beep, and then you whip out your wallet and say $20 for the
cha-ching.
I think it was Mums one time. Or
yeah, you were buying fundraiser. Cha-ching. I need $10 for the class trip or whatever. Cha-ching. Yeah.
So what I thought we could talk about is, this show is mostly about cycling. We talk about other things, but what about throwing out some ideas for family members of what to buy a cyclist for Christmas or non-denominational holiday?
So basically what you're saying is a cyclist's Christmas list to Santa basically is what you're looking for.
Yeah, just some ideas. I mean, like myself, let me give you an example. I mean, it's always good when you hear someone say something, you hear an example. Like myself, I would love a new golf driver. Oh wait, this is supposed to be about cycling.
Really? You don't need a new golf driver.
No, I actually don't.
You don't. I know. Yeah.
No. Podcasting microphone. I mean, oh wait, we're supposed to be talking.
You've got a good one.
I know. We're going to leave it alone. So, no, I thought cycling items.
Cycling specific items.
Things that you could say, like if your family said, hey, what do you want for Christmas? You could say to your family, let me give you an example, a real example.
Okay, please. A good one.
A bike computer. I would believe that the bike computer might just be one of the sole items that cyclists who ride on a regular basis like to have, but sometimes don't want to put the money out for. So what a perfect time to say to your family, hey, why don't you give you an idea. The Karoo 2 by Hammerhead
Mm-hmm.
as of recording this today, is on sale for $299. Normally $399. So it's on sale. You could say, "Hey, I really want that new Karoo too." Now, if you're not into Karoo and you're like, "Forget that. I want a Garmin." The 540/840 Edge, $349. You could say to your family, or if you're still Wahoo, which is a phenomenal product, by the way, $399. So, I mean, there's an example of a bike computer. I just found a few before recording that you could offer your family to get you. What about
And
you?
if you need more information about those bike computers, we had an episode a month ago or two, which we actually broke down and talked a little bit about cycling computers. So
two below this one, I stole that from Dateline, by the way. I was listening
Two
to
below?
Dateline while putting up my Christmas lights on my house today. It said, if you haven't listened to this episode, it's the one right underneath this one. And I thought, oh, perfect. So two below this
one. Okay.
It's called Tech on Wheels, a deep dive into cycling computers, radars, and some other fun stuff. So
cool.
Check that out. We broke down the computers, so you could definitely find out which one to either tell your family member to get you, or if you are the family member, which one to get for the cyclist in your life. So your turn.
Well, I have a tendency to go for something a little more fun than just a cycling computer. How about this? Would be for not me, of course, but for a lot of people that we know, especially the people riding Ragbri. How about the bike beer holder?
Oh,
and this isn't just for a single can. This is actually a handmade leather holder that hooks to your top bar that will hold a 6-pack of beer on your bicycle.
that would seem like a perfect gift for someone who is going to go on a bike ride.
Well, it's a 6-pack. It's like a clinch hand holder straight from the frame, comes in 4 different colors, and a company named Walnut Studios produces this. And, I just think it would be a great idea. I mean, not on a serious ride, but if I was just, riding around, and if I was going to ride over, you and I lived in the same town, I'd ride over with a 6-pack and, here we go.
I have 2 things on the beer holder. Since you did the research, where could our listeners find that to buy that?
They could simply look that up, Walnut Studios, or look up bike beer holder.
Okay.
And then it'll come up. There's a couple brands that make it, but I like this because this one was like made out of leather.
Okay.
So I kind of like the look because it kind of had that vintage look to it.
Yeah, it would hold up as well. And this second part of that would be, I think it'd be more classy to give the recipient of the gift 6 bottles of beer or cans of beer inside.
Yeah, I mean, that's bad luck. It's a lot like you give somebody a wallet or a purse. You're supposed to put some money in it. It's just bad luck. If you give somebody a beer holder or something like that, you got to put beer in it, or it's just bad luck. Like, you can't give somebody a whiskey decanter without having some whiskey in it, because that would be bad luck.
Well, I would agree with that. That makes sense to me. All right, I got another one for you.
All right, let's hear it.
Another piece of electronics, a little expensive, but that's okay. This is a bike radar. For anyone who does not know what that is, a bike radar goes on the back of your bike or the front if you want, and it will tell you if a car is approaching from the rear. The most popular one, I think, would be the Garmin RTL 515 Varia, Varia. I don't want to mispronounce that. I'm not sure. Varia, maybe. That one does not have a camera, but... Oh, that one's also $149 without a camera, but they do have the RTC 715 with the camera, and I like to say that's so your family can see how you were hit later on. So, I don't know.
Yeah,
I know that
horrible.
It shows cars going around, but in Michigan we don't have license plates on the front of the cars unless they're, of course, nostalgic or Naraya, whatever, license plate. And so you're not going to get a plate from somebody.
Somebody from, who loves the University of Michigan just hit me. That's all I can tell you.
That's right.
Track him down, Mr. Police Officer.
He was stealing a sign from. I'm just kidding. No, keep going at him. So
bad joke. Move on.
Anyways, radar. So see, my mind is thinking for the family member is to buy these pieces of electronics. By the way, on a serious note, I think the radar might just be one of the most safest things that has been invented for a bicycle in a long time. So, but anyways, thought that I would throw that out there. All right, your turn.
Well, going along that same thing, here would be a thing if you cycled a lot, you could have the radar, you could have all this other stuff. How about a crash sensor?
Wow, do they really have a crash sensor?
I kid you not. I wouldn't make this stuff up.
I mean, to be fair, I know Strava has one in your phone that if you hit the ground, you're recording on your phone, it'll send a signal. But I just mean they actually have an individual item.
It's a sensor mechanism that attaches to your helmet.
Wow.
And it connects to your smartphone and will alert your contact in case of an accident.
I'm so sorry. I can't help myself. Just give me a second. Understanding if it's an actual accident, that's great. But can you imagine getting a frustrating call like from a business, like you're on a bike ride? I told you no. And then your family is like, well, what's going on? Are you okay? Like, oh yeah, I was just frustrated at Jim at work.
Yeah, you're like
who messed up the server or
hand
something.
down. And
yeah. That's a good
on your head going, I've told you a million times. And then it's like accident. Yes. So, a company, ANGI, capital A, capital N, capital G, lowercase I, has a crash sensor. So that might be, another mechanism to help, let your family know if there's been an accident.
And that's why, this is not a show about computers, but that's why I switched to the Hammerhead, because you connect a cell phone SIM card to it, or data card, and it sends out a ping to your family. They can see exactly where you are. And if you set up a route, actually it says where you are in the route, how much time you have left, what time do you think you're going to finish. So that was one of the sole purposes of getting that. So okay, so we have a crash sensor, we have a radar, a computer, we have a leather beer holder for the bicycle. My turn here. I'm going to go with some bike tools. While most cyclists probably don't know how to use a lot of the tools, they can mess up the derailleurs. I'm just kidding.
You just insulted like everybody.
No, I insulted myself, because anytime I mess with that stuff, I have to go to the bike shop because I screwed it up.
Or no, you don't go to the bike shop because the traffic's too busy and you just let it squeak or wear or do whatever it does. So
bike is now inside. It's beautiful. It's clean, ready to go for the 2024 season. So
okay, fair enough.
So I would recommend some bike tools. To be fair, this answer is so wide open of what you could do. They have like a multi-tool set, like it's almost like the Swiss Army knife of bike tools, where you have so many tools packed into one. You could do individual tools. You can go to your local bike shop and just say, hey, I'm looking to get some bike tools for my cyclist family member or whatever. Just maybe an introductory kit. If they don't have a lot, they can definitely help you out at a bike store. Get some of the basic millimeters that would be on most, and they could actually ask what kind of bike does your cyclist husband, wife, family member have, and he's got a Bianchi, blah blah blah, and these are the tools that you would need. They would definitely be able to help you with that.
Yes. Now I've got a fun one here. This is one that I really, 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 really would like to have. A folding bicycle helmet.
Wow. A folding bicycle helmet?
One of the companies I found, Fend, Fend, makes a folding bicycle helmet. It folds up to 50% of its size. So it folds down 50%. And basically, it's got an ABS shell. It's ultralight PC. It's a fully certified biking helmet, but it folds down.
Interesting. But what my brain immediately goes to, is it MIPS certified? Is it all that? I'm not sure, but no disrespect to that company whatsoever. But my first thought would be is the integrity of the helmet, because of course, let's be honest. I mean, go back to the 80s. No one was wearing helmets. And then now, if you don't wear a helmet, everyone's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it's like going outside without pants on. So I choose to wear a helmet. As everyone knows, I wear not only a helmet, I wear a brim, which is on my list.
That, by the way, does not help you in a crash. But
no,
just saying.
It makes me look cool.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Wow.
But on a serious note, that would be my concern. Did you, while doing research, were there any reviews or?
It has had very high reviews.
Okay.
Lots of reviews. It's really big with like commuters.
Yeah, I could see that.
Who like, hey, I got, doesn't take up a lot of the space. I found it because, I always, when we're going on these rides and stuff, never have room for my helmet in my bag. So I'm always have it in my backpack when I'm, directly with me. So we'll see. But
I'll never forget when we were in the Atlanta airport, and the first year we were doing brag, you had your backpack, and I looked and I saw on the back of your backpack, I'm like, is that your bike helmet? I mean, did you wear that on the plane and you said, no, I mean, with luggage and trying to get everything there, that you just had to strap it on to the back of your backpack. So
plus there's another upside to that. If God forbid, they give you that announcement, assume the
ladies
crash
and
position.
Gentlemen, this flight is about to turn into a cruise. So.
I'm going to grab my helmet, strap it on, and then I'm assuming the position. So see, I'm protecting my head. So
my favorite.
The only survivor was a cyclist who was wearing a cycling helmet. Yeah.
My favorite when I was a kid, they would say, ladies and gentlemen, if this flight turns into a cruise, don't you worry. Your seat turns into a flotation device. And I remember looking at my mom going, what? I was, 8, 9, 10 years old. My mom's like, honey, they just have to say that stuff. So,
well, my seat's bolted to the plane and the plane sinks. Let's not start
what
thinking about the science here. Yeah.
So, anyways, my turn. I'm going with a debrim.
Oh, come on.
It is a good cycling gift.
I am not asking Santa for a debrim. I mean, right there, no, ain't gonna happen. But that's okay.
I'm just saying.
I know
that if you are concerned about sun protection and you want to look cool as a fool, then you need yourself as a debrim. So,
wow.
Hey, I just would like to say it is my.
It's your signature look.
It is my signature look. Yeah.
But
I'd like to think it's my charming personality, but I think most people recognize, I know him from his hat. So.
Yeah, it's the hat. Okay, well, there are people out there I'm sure would love to have the debrim.
Don't stop now. Go out in order before it sells out.
Before they sell out.
Yes.
Next thing on my list, or my suggestion list, I should say. How about an e-bike conversion kit? How about take your regular bicycle and turn it into an e-bike?
Can I buy that secretly and not let anyone know?
Oh, sure. Absolutely. I won't tell anybody.
Okay. That's cool. How does that work?
Well, basically, you replace your rear. Well, you'd have to have rear disc brakes, but you replace your rear disc brake with this unit. It's probably, 12, 16 inches long. And this unit hooks on there and will produce up to 250 watt motor.
Okay.
And the thing is you can take it on and take it off relatively easily. So if you were like leaving your bike someplace, you could take it off. So, somebody didn't decide they wanted an e-bike, but it's kind of cool.
Well,
I mean, we could have used it last year in Georgia, in the mountains, slap that puppy on there and then throw it in a backpack and no one had ever known.
I'll tell you what, that was no joke on the first day. I would have killed for one that day. Okay. So an electronic e-bike conversion kit for your everyday bicycle.
Mm-hmm. Clip it on, clip it off, boom.
Kind of simple one here. But I just thought like a gift shop to your local bike shop. I mean, a
gift card
to your local bike shop, stocking stuffer, something kind of simple.
Okay.
I know that doesn't go into long wind, but
Okay. I'm going to go for something else that would be very practical that I think one of these days you and I should try. The Yo Audio intercom headset.
Is
We've
that
seen
what?
this.
Okay. That's what Audrey and them had.
Well, I don't know if it's exactly what they had, but we've seen things very similar to this. Some of them now they're actually integrating it into the helmet itself, but this is actually a separate like earpiece thing that you hook right there. You've got it connected to somebody else, and as you're going, you're able to chit chat and that kind of stuff with them.
Okay. Actually, I did see a couple at Ragbri. They were. It was kind of weird as they were talking. I could hear them echoing back and forth. No disrespect to the product. I just meant I could tell that they were both saying it, and as they were both past me, I could hear them. One would talk, and I would hear the speaker on the other helmet. It was kind of cool. So that would be kind of neat because then I can, when someone passes me on an e-bike up a hill, I can go, look at this.
No,
Okay.
but I mean, it would be very convenient because there's times where, you'll get ahead of me or I'll get ahead of you and we'll go up a ways or whatever. Or there's just times when I know I've been behind you and my chain has came off or whatever, and I have to shout at you. This way it could just be, hey, pull off at the next thing. My chain's off, that kind of thing. So I think it'd be kind of cool.
If we actually get across a state without your chain coming off, I would be surprised. It usually happens one time and one time only, but it's happened every time so far. So if it doesn't happen, I might drive home and be disappointed.
I figured out what I was doing, that if I don't do that, it'll solve the problem. So
cross chain.
I might be disappointing you in Georgia. We'll see.
Okay.
Yet to be determined.
All right.
You got anything else on your list there?
I do, and I want to be transparent. The list came from our good friend Joe, and he gave some recommendations. I'm going to rattle a few off here. He does a lot of winter riding. I am not as much of a winter rider as him, but I thought that I would throw a few of these out there, which is
for the winter riders.
Yeah. Handlebar warm muffs, which these are like neoprene that goes on the handlebars. Warm shoe covers, gloves of all types, face masks, helmet cover, no fog goggles, and insulated rain jacket. So he was able to provide those for us, and I reached out to him and said, hey, we're going to do a show. Do you have any recommendations? So can you guess where his mind is at? Winter riding. So,
well, you know what? I can solve all of those really easy.
Put your bike away for the winter? Just
stay in my living room during the wintertime. Don't need any of those, Santa.
One thing that I will say that I actually do tell my family, and I have before doing the show, was water bottles. Water bottles can be great. You can use them year after year, but every now and then I do like to change those out. So,
well, the plastic does break down.
Yep.
If you don't properly clean them out, I mean, you can get lots of moldy stuff in there and things that, bacteria that you don't even see. So, switching those out every now and then is a good thing.
Speaking of that, would you like me to purchase one for you for Christmas? Because you've got that one where the whole mouthpiece comes off.
Oh, I got rid of that one.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That one resolved itself. So
didn't have room to pack at home, huh?
Actually, if I remember correctly, it didn't make it across to Iowa.
Okay.
Because I got tired because I would pop it in my mouth to pull it off, and then the whole top little section would come off with it every time, and I was just like, forget this. So it ended up in a trash can in Storm Lake or somewhere.
Hey, Adam, I need a Coke.
Sounds good. We'll be back after a quick break. Selfish plug. I think that if you're trying to help a cyclist out, there is a link on our podcast where you can support the show, and you could do that in honor of somebody. So you could do monthly for $3 or something like that. You could help out Cycling Men of Leisure podcast, and we can continue the shenanigans. So
that's right. Yeah, and we will. So I have one more.
Okay.
and this would be a fun one. That anybody could really, whether you're a mountain biker or road cyclist or whatever. How about a custom bobblehead, a bicycle racing custom bobblehead? And basically what you do is you send them your picture and they make a bobblehead that looks just like you, like on a bicycle.
I love it.
Exactly. Yeah. Can you imagine us getting a couple of those and like putting them in like the windshield of our vehicle when we're going to like a thing and we're driving along and both of our bobbleheads are just kind of bobbling there as we're going down the road.
So
and that actually came from a website. Bobblehead Craft creates cycling specific ones.
That's cool. I will leave you with one more that I am passionate about, and I believe that a nice bright front light, whether it's daytime or nighttime, I think many different brands. I couldn't even begin where to begin, but I mean, you could obviously go local bike shop. They could help you out. Now we keep saying local bike shop, and I am aware that due to shortage and supply and demand, sometimes your local bike shop doesn't have some stuff. Don't like to do this, but please remember that on Amazon, you can create a list and you can actually send the list to your family member if you're trying to look at something as well. But I do recommend going to your local bike shop. So otherwise there won't be a local bike shop. So
absolutely support the local ones, because those local bike shops, I mean, a lot of times they have, weekly cycling groups, that they're supporting. They're supporting local clubs. They just do a lot of stuff for the local cycling community that you're not going to get if you're supporting Amazon or something like that. So definitely.
And if you're looking for a cheap gift for somebody, like $0.00, send them the link in a card of cyclingmenofleisurePodcast.com.
There you go. Yeah. It's the gift that keeps on giving.
Clark, that's pretty nice.
What was that? The Jello of the Month Club, or
Clark, like you're lucky, or something like that.
That's the gift that keeps on giving.
Well, I remember we did mark the clean box for this show, but that is the best. We watch that every year, and I can't help it. And every year it just gets funnier and funnier. So.
Cousin Eddie.
Yeah.
Cousin Eddie. Yeah. Well, anything else you got on your list?
I don't. No.
Okay. I think we've got a pretty good list there of gift items if you're trying to find for a cyclist, or if Santa, if you're listening, got some ideas there for the cycle enthusiast. Wow.
I gave my best shot.
I did want to jump to another thing, and I know we didn't talk about this before, but I thought it might be nice to bring up our last episode. Can you talk to us a little bit about what that was as far as the concept?
Yeah. We had Sarah on, who is doing a ride, bike and build, where she is going to build houses, or I guess work with Habitat for Humanities and start to build houses while also doing a ride on a pretty big ride. Right.
And she was a female, and so we started doing a special around that, and that's what I'd like you to address. No, that's good.
So officially started the Cycling Women of Leisure series of shows, and we had Sarah on. So real quick, if you haven't heard before, this all started in Georgia, where we had Cycling Men of Leisure, where a guy came up to us and said, "You guys are living the lifestyle of leisure," and we were like, "Yes, we are." And then kind of fizzled out, and then we went to Iowa that year, and in the middle of Iowa, where the tractor was spinning the couch around as they were driving around, we officially made it official and got the website and got the Facebook and became Cycling Men of Leisure. For essence of time, fast forward, I called Michael and said, "What do you think about doing a podcast?" As the show started to grow, we started to get these comments of, being chauvinist pigs and not appreciating women as well. which was funny because we're both married to women and have our own separate families.
We definitely appreciate them.
So anyways, we created Cycling Women of Leisure last year at Bragg. We were able to do 2 different jerseys, and we started the show talking about the team. So we were able to do Cycling Men of Leisure, and I'm proud to tell you we had Cycling Women of Leisure. And then we started the Cycling Women of Leisure Facebook page and that group, and it's just taken off like gangbusters. So last show that we put out, we officially started the Cycling Women of Leisure series. There you go. There's your update. Sorry, I didn't know where you're going with that.
No, that's okay. Like I said, I just kind of hit you with it, but I thought it's something that we should get out there. And so periodically, we're going to continue to add to that series by bringing, women who are in cycling, girls who are in cycling, different aspects of it. Our goal is to try to get more interviews with them on the show and kind of, build up that as being a kind of a every so often featured segment. So I think that's an awesome idea.
No, I'm glad to do that, and I saw that a lot of people who, when I posted it on different social media sites, they were definitely positive likes and comments. So love that. Speaking of social media, don't forget you can follow us on Instagram and Facebook, and we have multiple pages. So if you're a lady and you don't want to support the men page, we have a ladies page, and I'll tell you that the ladies Facebook page has more likes than the men page. So there you go. So there's
yeah.
Definitely you could check us out there. But other than that, I would on a personal note love to wish you and your family happy Thanksgiving. I know this is going to come out a couple days after Thanksgiving, but I still want to wish you and your family a happy Thanksgiving. So.
And to you and your family as well, your parents and all that. I hope you guys have a wonderful Thanksgiving. One final thing I do want to bring up is this is the week of our 1-year anniversary for this podcast.
Woohoo!
That's
happy
right.
birthday to the podcast, to us. There you go.
So as of this week, Thanksgiving week, we will have been doing this podcast for 1 full year. Can you believe it?
I can't. I didn't ask you this before, but we said that we would do a honest process of whether we're going to continue the show or not. I think it's fair to say we're going to continue.
Yes, when we originally started, it was like, that the year was kind of like, let's give it a year. Let's see how it goes. I mean, statistically, most podcasts, go 3, 4, 6 months down the road, and then they kind of think, you know what, this isn't working. I've got to say, this first year has far surpassed anything that I had ever imagined. I really, I figured we'll be doing this and like 12 people will be listening to us from, weird places. It's really cold up here in Alaska. We got nothing better to do than listen to these two, goofballs talk about cycling and all that. But it has far surpassed that. So I definitely, as long as you're willing, definitely want to continue growing this and continue to do this. But it's been a fun adventure for the first year.
Absolutely. And just for some context, I just looked as you were talking. We officially have 7,150 downloads. So much, much higher than you and I had ever imagined. And so, yes, I would love to continue, and we'll try it again. Let's go for it again. So
absolutely. So I think it's great. And I honestly, even though we kind of said, let's see what it is. And after a year, I figured after like 7 months, you and I'd be like, this is fun, but no, we're going strong and keep getting stronger. And statistically speaking, we tend to be in the top at least 25% of podcasts out there.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, we both found a report. If you're ever curious, you can look it up yourself. But we found this report of like how many downloads you have per week and where you are. I mean, everyone probably just thinks about like the Datelines and the Joe Rogans and all of these shows. But that's exactly what they are. They're shows where, they get millions of downloads. And then if you take the outliers out, when you look at the rest of the podcasts, we were in the top 25%. We were like, wow, that's crazy. We just never think we'd be there. So we appreciate all of you. Thanks for listening. If you're listening today and you're inspired by this, please share with somebody and say, hey, even if you're not into cycling, these guys poke fun at each other. Just before the show, Michael's giving me a hard time about something. So we're good friends and care a lot about each other and love doing this. So thank you so much for listening. So with that, I will say, wasn't today a good day for in Michigan?
It was a good day for a bike ride somewhere, but not Michigan.
That's right. So cool. Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming along with Adam and Michael on Road Adventures with Cycling Men of Leisure. If you have enjoyed this, please subscribe to the show on the podcast app of your choice.
Hey, we just wanted to remind you that we've got some really cool products at our jersey and our swag store.
That's right. You can visit cyclingmenofleisure.com. At the top of the page, you'll find our stores page. Click there. There's 2 QR codes. The one on the left has a J on it. That's the store for the jerseys. The one on the right is just a swag store. Has all kinds of different items. Kind of customizable. You can kind of make the swag the way you want it. If the QR codes are giving you an issue, don't worry. Underneath, there's 2 buttons that you can click on. Thank you, and have a great day.